Hello everyone, it's Red and we're back again with another video. Today we are back on the catch, Carp Coarse. We're back on the hunt for the boss fish. We've still unfortunately not managed to hook into one. If you remember in the last episode we were targeting the barbel and we got plagued by eel and carp, mostly eel unfortunately. Today I thought that we would go for something very different to what we have been trying to catch so far, and there is one of what we're going for on the screen right now in the distance. It's the very long thin fish just behind the trees near the back of the middle of the picture. It is the northern pike. So that's what we're going to be targeting, and I thought each episode I would read a little bit about the species that we're targeting. So the northern pike, otherwise known as Esox lucius, is a species of carnivorous fish of the genus Esox. They are typical of brackish and fresh waters of the northern hemisphere. They are known simply as pike in Britain, Ireland, and most of Eastern Europe, Canada, and the United States. Pike can grow relatively large. The average length is about 40 to 55 centimeters, which is 16 to 22 inches, with maximum recorded lengths of up to 150 centimeters, which is 59 inches, and published weights of 28.4 kilograms, which is 63 pounds. The IGFA currently recognizes a 25 kilogram, 55 pound pike caught by Lothar Lewis on Grefren Lake, Germany, on the 16th of October 1986 as the all-tackle world record northern pike. Northern pike grow to larger sizes in Eurasia than in North America, and typically grow to larger sizes in coastal areas rather than inland regions of Eurasia. So that's what we're going to be targeting today. The pike is literally swimming across our screen right now. It's just stopped in the middle of our screen. That's what we're going to be targeting today. Again, we're going to be on we're going to go to Jezero Bestie again. We are going to go across to the boss fish and we're going to go and see if we can get any information on what the pike here might be doing. So here we go. We've got a couple here. This is Patricia. Patricia is the second on the list of huge Jezero Bestie pike for you to target, often weighing in at a mighty 50 pounds or more, and with such bulk comes power you'll never forget. If you are skilled enough to get your hooks into her, a renowned scrapper, Patricia will instantly head for the lake bed in an attempt to shed your steel, and it will take a mighty effort to stop her, or prevent her razor sharp teeth from splitting your trace before she makes her escape. So that really doesn't give us any clues on how to catch her. She sounds like a formidable beast. And here we go. Piotr, the smallest of the Jezero Besties triumvirate of monster pike. Piotr is quite happy to lay quietly amongst the rocks and reeds of the lakeside margins, hoping to strike from cover and retire quickly, having snatched a meal to quell his insatiable hunger. An ambush attacker, Piotr rarely strays from his favorite hiding places, so if you can find him, offering a tasty fish bait or shiny lure may just trigger an explosive assault. Piotr is a creature of habit, so don't be surprised if you catch him more than once during your visit. Okay, so we're looking for one more. Here we go. Is this Pavel or is it Pavel? I think it might be Pavel. Okay, a primeval predator. Pavel's favourite pastime consists of dragging waterfowl to their death as he attacks from beneath. Attracted by movement, Pavel uses vibration to home in on his next meal, often leaping completely out of the water with his desperate victim clamped firmly between his jagged teeth, before plunging back into the depths in a maelstrom of feathers and spray. Big bird snacks have seen Pavel pile on the weight, and he remains the largest of all the bestie pike at an awe-inspiring 54 pounds. Make sure your scales are up to the job. Okay, so we've got 3 pike to target. We may well catch a zander. We may well catch a catfish, but we are targeting the pike. We've got 2 big boys and a big girl to target here. We will get into our trip. Let's see if we can snag ourselves a pike. Now we're going to use our predator tackle box. We're going to fish. Let's give Sunset a try. Let's get into it and see what we can catch. So the tactic I thought we would use to start with is lure fishing. So we're going to take one rod and we're going to walk around the lake and we'll see if we can find some spots that we might think the pike are hiding in. I think we'll start where I've got my highlighted part right now, and then maybe at the end we'll switch up our tactic and we'll go with float fishing tactic. So last video I asked people to let me know what they thought of, or what length they preferred me to make my videos, and my friend Rachel very kindly messaged me and told me that she preferred the longer videos, though she liked them all, and I think particularly for these fishing videos the longer videos do make sense, so we're not going to be in any hurry on this one. If it takes us an hour, we'll have an hour long video. If it doesn't, if we want to finish it up before that, we won't worry too much, but I think I'm going to focus on enjoying the time that we have in the game, and we're just going to experiment and see what tactics bring what. I do expect to have to maybe do 2 or 3 trips to try and catch a pike, but let's see what happens. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move my mic a little bit. There we go. So like I said, we're going to be mobile. Let's check out what we've got going here. We're going to we're going to go with the biggest possible line. What do we want to do? So let's take a little jog. Let's see if we can snag anything along the shoreline here. So what we're doing, so we're chucking our lure out. We're going to move our reel to the slowest possible setting, and we're going to reel in constant, at least to begin with. So move it up, one more speed. Let's see what we can catch. Now, I spoke a lot about my fishing videos, in particular with my girlfriend Ali, and she really loves the fishing videos the most out of all the ones I make. She even, bless her, she watched both of my fishing videos with me. She told me the things that she liked, and she told me that she enjoyed it when I read the captions. She thought that gave her some good ASMR, so I'm trying to incorporate that more in my style. So we're going to cast out. We're going to wait until we're close to the bottom. Oh no, oh dear, we lost that one. For some reason I was using the wrong button. That is quite frustrating. Imagine if that was the boss fish. So I have noticed that on the drop down you can get quite a lot of bites. So obviously we got a bite there, so we're gonna try and hit the same area again. Whoops. Like I always say here, we won't mind mistakes on this channel. We don't get stressed about these things. There we go. There's our first fish. Now I remember the correct buttons to strike. Every time I play this particular lake, I am smacked in the face by the beauty of the trees and the mountains. It is honestly just like playing a game inside of a Bob Ross painting. Okay, I don't know that this is anything huge. Okay, it says Ander, so fish one, not what we're targeting, but we'll take it. Quite frankly, anything is better than an eel. I couldn't quite face another eel expedition, though I feel like we are going to have to target the eel eventually to try to catch that pesky boss fish. So this is a zander, and a specimen zander at that. Our very first fish is a specimen zander. That is fantastic. I'm so happy about that. Now, I think since we caught the zander, that I should read the caption out for what the zander are. So, zander. Okay, the sander or pike perch, is a species of ray-finned fish from the family Percidae, which includes perch, ruff, and darters. It is found in freshwater and brackish habitats in western Eurasia. It is a popular game fish and has been introduced to a variety of localities outside its native range. It is the type species of genus Sander. Now, in my local area, the zander was introduced, I believe, in the 60s. Before that, we didn't have zander here, and they quickly overtook a lot of the local predators. But in recent years, they have been quite hard to target. Oftentimes, when you try to fish for pike, you will get a lot of bites that you miss. You'll strike into them and there'll just be nothing on the end, and a lot of the time that's because it's a zander picking up your bait. They are very good at picking up your bait without finding the hooks, so you strike into them and you just simply pull your bait out of their mouth. So what we're doing right now is we're pulling in and then we're dropping, and then we're pulling in and then we're dropping. It's called twitching. Sometimes it's there we go. So let's say sometimes is this an eel? I think we just caught an eel. I don't know though. Oh my gosh, we caught an eel. I cannot believe. After my speech about not being able to face another eel ridden episode, we've gone and caught an eel on our very second toss. Okay, so I mean, it's not all that surprising to me. I know that eel do tend to take fish. They are a carnivore, so I really shouldn't act too surprised, let's be honest, but I am plagued by eel apparently. I cannot do anything about it. It doesn't seem to matter what I fish for. The eel always find me. So maybe one of these days, maybe, I'm almost certain at this point that our first boss fish is going to be an eel. It's okay. Okay. I think we give it 2 more casts in this location. It is working, and we definitely need to remember this area. I think we give it 2 more casts, including this one, and then we move on. Give it a nice constant retrieval. We'll keep it nice and low. This is why we turn the gears down to 2 on our reel. We had a fish just to our left. May cast to the left hand side this time. Sometimes it's a bit finicky. Let's see if we can wait for it to go down. Just twitching it a bit. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you catch a fish right on the end, right at the bank. Now we'll run up a little bit further. I would like to, now you can see those reeds directly in front of us. I would like to somehow be able to target those, so 95, that's about right, perfect. I'm going to let it drop a little bit and then get back on the retrieval. I actually think this is by far the most exciting way to fish in this game. It does give your heart a little bit of a jump when you get a strike. It feels pretty good when you get a run. I mean, it always feels good when your bite alarm goes, of course, but there's something about hooking directly into a fish on a lure. Aim it down this canal. 98, we'll take it. Stop and go. I haven't really figured out the best retrieval type, and if I'm honest, some of the retrieval types are not very easy to green time. I'm gonna just let it drop a little bit just in case it can encourage a bite, and then I'm gonna pick it back up. We'll give this one a few casts because I really think that there's a chance that there's a pike hiding in this canal here between the two islands. I'm going to let it drop just a little bit right at the end. I'm actually tempted to try a longer rod. I think we might, no, it's not that much longer, is it? There we go. Let's try a 9-foot rod. That should get us a little bit further. Let it drop. Start bringing it back in. We've got a nice 14-foot of depth here, so we'll let it drop a little bit more again before picking it back up. I think this area might be the area that we target with our floats in a bit. I'm gonna head over to here. A nice 98 again. Bring him in. Just pick it up a little bit off the bottom. You don't want it banging along the bottom. You want it just off the bottom if you can. Of course, you can catch pike up in the water as well. It would be quite something if you could catch them up in the air, would it not? I think we were having a bit more success with the faster retrieval, so I might test it out on 3 a little bit. Okay, we are not. Let's let it drop a little bit. Okay, we're not really getting too much success here. Considering how quickly we were getting bites in that last area. Let's go over here. Let's target that area we were just standing at, shall we? See if we can pick up something there. If I remember rightly, where we were stood, there was some water thrashing going on just before we got there. Oh, here we go. That worked out quite nicely, did it not? Now this is fighting much more like a pike. This is fighting extremely hard. The strike wasn't perfect. We lost half of our durability with the strike, so we're going to have to be very careful. As you see, we're not really directing the pike that way, it's just going that way on its own. There we go. See the long predator shape of the pike. They have so much power in that body. Just trying to be careful with with the fighting. We don't want to overexert too much power on the pike and then lose our durability. Did we? Yeah, there we go. There we go, people. There's our first pike of the journey. It's, as you can see, we had a bit of a fight on our hands there, and it's only a common pike. So I think you will understand now when I say they are a hard fighter. I can only imagine. So the boss fish, I believe, was 54 pounds. So that's another one of that and a half. That could well be a fight and a half. I'm a little bit worried about it, if I'm honest. I'm expecting that we might lose it a few times before we actually catch it. We did catch one pike over here, so we're going to give it a few more casts, see if we can catch a second. Okay. I am not entirely sure how the mechanics of this game work with water disturbance. In real life, if you catch a pike in one area, it's usually not a great idea to put your bait back in the same area because of the disturbance. Everything in the area tends to just leave. But I'm not certain if that's the same. That the same is the same thing as in the game that is in real life. Depends how detailed they made the game, and to be fair to them, they have made the game very realistic in a lot of ways. Now, there is a bridge over here. I am interested to know if we can catch anything underneath that bridge. It is common in real life for pike to hide underneath bridges. So let's have a look, shall we? I'm not certain if this is going to go to the bridge. Okay, so we got close via the bank. Maybe we can fish it off the bridge. Maybe that's a thing. We have one more go at that, I think. In fact, I think I'm gonna fish to the lilies next to the bridge and hope anything underneath the bridge darts out. That might be the better idea. Ooh. Our plan worked, huh? It shocks me so much every time I get a bite. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the video, but it shocks me so much. It's quite a jarring thing to experience. The controller shakes. The screen changes instantly from this super docile, naturalistic thing to this sharp text, and you have to act super quick, otherwise you lose all of your durability instantly. It's quite jarring, but I hope that it doesn't come across that way on the video. I hope that it's still nice and cozy. This is a small pike, this isn't a very big one. 12 pounds, just exactly half the weight of our last one, and it showed in the fight. It came in nice and easy. But okay, I'm going to give it one more cast, doing the exact same thing. Oh, we might have found a good area. I'm sorry if that ooh, I'm sorry if my ooh ruined the softly spoken ASMR a bit there. I'm struggling with the surprise a little bit, as I mentioned. How is the weather where you are? Here in England, we're experiencing some pretty hot days at the minute. I am not doing so well with it. I am myself and the heat do not agree with each other. We are very different beings, you know. The heat hates me as much as I hate it. But I did just buy a small cooler, which is a sort of a hybrid between a fan and an air conditioner. You actually pour in water and ice into the top, and it uses the water and the ice to together with a fan to cool you. It's extremely good. So this one fought a little stronger than the last. Still don't think it was exceptionally big. About 21 pounds. So this is our second biggest pike of the day. This area is proving pretty good though, we have to give it that. Drag it slightly to the right just to extend how much play area we have. And my girlfriend just sent me a message which forced me to the edge of almost laughing. I don't think she realises I'm recording right now. I don't think she's deliberately trying to make me laugh. She might be. So right there we lost our constant buff, and I'm not exactly sure why. My finger was sort of fully down and didn't seem to be any reason for us to lose the pretty green buff. I'm not 100% sure of the exact mechanics of the buff. I just assume that green is good and red is bad, and because of that I try to keep it in the green. These games are fantastic, but there isn't a great deal of information out there about them, and the forums, whilst they are populated, they're not populated to a degree where there's a great deal of information on there. So okay, well, let's move along. We had a couple of pike there. It's always good to know. We need to keep some of these areas in mind for the next time we do this, because I'm certain we're going to have to do it again. Now, I am wondering, definitely can't cast that way. Would have been nice if we could have cast off. Ooh, so we can cast off of the bridge. Oops. We might have to open the angle up a little bit here, because we're going to draw it right into the peg there in front of us where the big log is. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, we got a Xander. I'm not sure how the mechanics are going to work with me trying to catch this Xander on a bridge. We'll see how that works. Okay, it works fine. Nice. This was a small one. Our not like the specimen we caught earlier, which was quite incredible. Let's cast to the island. Some serious noises going on in the background right now. Pike are actually one of my favourite fish to fish for in my local area. It's a bit of a tradition for myself and my uncle to go, or my uncles even sometimes, for us to go on a piking trip over Christmas, during the Christmas holidays. We tend to go to our local river, and we always target the pike. It's always freezing cold, but it's a lot of fun. I love to target the pike in the winter. They're a very hard fighting fish. They require very specific tactics, and I get a kick out of it. I really enjoy targeting the pike. We tend to use frozen / dead sardines. They're both the perfect size for the pike. Of course, in the local rivers there are no sardines. You would think that trying to fish for a pike with a fish that doesn't actually exist in the river would be a bit of a red flag for the pike, but I think they just see fish, and that's enough for them. I think this is another zander. I think. Yep. Oh no, this is a salmon, I think. That has surprised me. At least it's not a Neo, right? Here we go. Let's have a look at this. This is the first salmon that we have caught. Oh, it was a brown trout. I'm so surprised by that. It looked like a salmon to me. Of course, it doesn't have the rainbow markings of a salmon, but that really surprised me. So yeah, this is a brown trout. Should I read out the... Let me read out the thing for a brown trout. The brown trout is a European species of salmonid fish, so it is a part of the salmon family, but it's not a salmon. The brown trout, Salmotruta, is a European species of salmonid fish that has been widely introduced into suitable environments globally. It includes purely freshwater populations referred to as riverine ecotype Salmotruta morpha fario, also called the lake trout, and anadromous forms known as sea trout. I'm not going to read the Latin name. The latter migrates to the oceans for much of its life and returns to fresh water only to spawn. Sea trout in Ireland and Britain have many regional names: Suin in Wales, Finnock in Scotland, Peel in West Country, Mort in northwest England, and white trout in Ireland. There you go, the trout. For £13, 5-ounce trout. Now that is quite a turn up for the books. I wasn't expecting that. Now I'm thinking about changing our bait. Why don't we give what is this boy? Perch and trout. These are for crankbaits. Let's give this boy a go. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. I'd love to hear what people think to the fishing content. I love making the fishing videos. I love making them all, but the fishing videos do have a special place in my heart, I have to say. I am hoping that everybody is finding them relaxing. I'm still planning on doing some other games such as Minecraft and Stardew Valley. I even saw a game earlier this week that I thought would be quite calming to do. What's called Cat Cafe. Just gonna let this one drop a little bit. That worked quite nicely. This feels very much like a pike, or at least one of the bigger species. I've got no control over this thing. It's just running. We're going to have to try to exert some control over it, otherwise it's going to get around the back of the island. If it gets around the back of the island, we will lose it. I'm going to try to bully it away from the island. I'm going to lose a little bit of our durability to do so though, but that's fine. We have to risk a little bit of durability, because if it gets around the back of the island, like I said, it's 100% a loss. Just trying to get to the weeds and the reeds there. Now it's swimming straight for us. Going to take up as much slack as we can. Oh, it doesn't look to be that big, actually. But sometimes it can be deceiving. It's definitely giving us the runaround, that's for sure. Every time so the idea when you're playing a big fish, you want to get its head up. The second you get its head up, it's usually done. If you get its head above the water, here we go, you've usually won the fight. Again, it wasn't that big, but damn did that fight really hard. It fought really, really hard. Okay. This might be a good place for us to try and target those barbel, actually. If I remember, it was around about... Whoops. It was around... out here somewhere. This direction. A bit further than that, but it was around that direction that we found the 50 feet depth. Oh, wow, took it on the drop, huh? Again, this feels very much like it's a pike. I'm gonna get the tip of the rod down. Usually if you get the tip of the rod down, it's harder for the pike to break away, harder for any fish to break away. Again, it's going to try and get around this iron, so we're going to have to try and stop it. Just got to be very careful here. Let's try to stop it from reaching the bank. Let's see, the hook strains when I do that, but we don't really have much of an option. This one's better, I think. This one looks better than the last. Okay, it's trying to make it to the bridge. Just gonna try and get its head up. Can we get its head up? Nope, no chance. Oh, can we do it now? Have we got it? Nope. She's a big girl. She's a big girl. At least, I think she is. Again, sometimes it can be deceiving, but this one looks a lot bigger than the last one. What did we have here? Yes, this is our biggest one of the day. 27 pounds. The switch to the pig brown parrot seems to be a hit. Again, still not a specimen. We've still got some way to go before we can find a specimen, but let's keep going. We were out kind of in the middle there, weren't we, where we caught that one? So maybe we should look back in that around area. Again, that one took it on the drop. A lot of these are taking the drop, aren't they? Okay, this lure really has changed things for us, hasn't it? Oh, we have the zander. This looks like a big zander too. Maybe it's not. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I will take any species that is not a Neo. And I know it seems like I'm quite prejudiced against the eel. I'm not going to lie, I am. I do not like the eels. They're like a sea snake or a water snake, you know? I can't be doing with that, unfortunately. I have nothing against snakes, I have nothing against eels. But I would just prefer they stayed away from me, you know? This does look like a big zander. Here we go. What have we got? 16 pounds. Much bigger than the last one we caught. Still, nothing like the species, nothing like the first one we caught, which was a specimen. I'm still kind of flabbergasted that our first fish was a specimen of the day. It feels so much better, I think, also to catch a specimen when you're fishing like this with a lure than when you're fishing on the bottom with baits, with bottom baits on on the bite alarm. Also, of course, when you're fishing with a bite alarm in this game, you can use 3 rods, whereas you can only use 1 lure rod at a time, right? Okay, I'm going to try and make sure that this fish does not get around the island. As long as it stays within the confines of that island, between us and the island, we're fine. I'm not certain why the hook slipped there. Is this a salmon or a trout? It looks like it's a trout. Here we go. What do we have here? A brown trout, 14 pounds and 9 ounces. They are a fun fish to catch, I have to say. We are catching almost a fish a trap right now with this new lure, so I think we have found a good tactic, a good lure to use for future trips. Oh. They are really attacking this thing on the drop every single time. Okay. I always get nervous when the fish approaches that little rock right on the outside there. It's not too easy to see how far within you are. This looks like it might be a pike. At this point, I don't think it's the biggest pike that we've caught today. I'm thinking right now that it's another around about maybe 12, 13 pounds. But I could be wrong. I've only seen it at quite a distance. It doesn't feel like it's fighting quite as hard as some of the others have. So, but again, in real life sometimes you'll be fighting a fish and it's almost as if for the first half of the fight they don't really realise that they've been hooked. And for the first half of the fight they're just happy to do whatever you want, and then they get a glimpse of you, and after that they fight like an absolute Trojan, you know. They fight like a beast. It's a long fish. It is a long fish, so, but it doesn't look very deep. So this could be anything. This could be a 30 pounder or it could be a 15. It does seem like a very long fish, but it doesn't look very deep at all. What have we got here? 26 pounds. Yeah. Like I say, it's